people were thinking we were going to get kicked off ESPN this year already. Like people are already assuming that it's not going to work. It's not going to last because, Aaron started a war with Jimmy Kimmel on our show. Jimmy Kimmel, obviously ABC, let alone the COVID stuff, calling out Fauci on our show. Like there was a lot. It got real. The block got real hot for about 3 weeks.
How do you,
I love it.
But how do you navigate? Obviously, Aaron is a good friend of yours, but ESPN is who you're working with now. So how do you navigate that? What's that conversation like between you and Aaron?
So ESPN is licensing my show.
Okay.
So it's still like
you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like I talked to Shannon Sharp about this Radio Row because Club Shay Shay with Kat, obviously 58.5 million viewers, and there's a lot of shit said on there about a lot of people. And I thought maybe Unk at a much bigger scale than us, obviously, with the Aaron stuff, even though we're on Good Morning America, the Today Show, and all that type of stuff. I said, do you ever, because like the stuff Aaron's talking about, he's very passionate about. Like Aaron firmly believes that. And there's a lot of people in the world that believe that. Whether people hate that or not, that is a fact of life. So like, I don't know that world though. Like I'm not educated in that world. And there was a lot of times where I'm like, do I deserve to have this platform if I don't know everything about everything so that this shit can't happen, and people don't end up hating us? So I asked Shannon about that. I'm like, Shannon, do you feel like whenever something's being said that you don't know if it's right or not, like how much blame are you putting on yourself? Because there was like nights I couldn't sleep. Like I'm like, maybe I am fucking this up completely. And then I got back to it. It's like, we're having conversations with people. Like you can disagree with them completely, but at least you learn and know where Aaron's at. Like this is a Mount Rushmore quarterback in the history of the NFL.
Right.
In real time, you're learning about him completely.
Yes.
I feel like that's a form of journalism as well.
Right.
Even though people won't really talk about it. Whenever there's documentaries made about Aaron Rodgers later in life, which will happen, they're going to use so much of our show. Is that not journalism? So it's like, although there are wars that we get into and Aaron will defend himself, he's a friend of ours. Aaron does his thing. I'm vaccinated. And in the middle of I was getting swore at in like 30 different languages because Aaron was saying he wasn't vaccinated and I was the worst human on earth. And it's like, I think we're just a different style of programming. Like we're a conversationalist. We have no idea where we're headed. We don't have scheduled questions. I don't prep anybody when they're coming on. I don't have a list of questions. I'm just having a conversation with people. And boy, it has certainly got us into some shit, but it has also got us some magic, that like not a lot of other places can have. So it's a weird dynamic. It's very weird.
Balance? I mean, obviously as athletes, we have to have tough skin growing up, coming in, but now we're in this new generation where everyone has a voice, whether they deserve or not, via social media. How do you balance the negativity? Because although we can say, hey, it doesn't affect us, we hear all of it.
All of it.
So how do you balance that? And like you said, you've had sleepless nights. How do you flush that shit and able to still focus?
Honestly, this show's called All the Smoke.
Yeah, do you ever crack a Coors Light while you're doing
Latte,
it?
what?
Blue, Golden, Colorado.
He said Coors Latte.
What? I mean, I'll have a beer with you if we're having beers. But I smoke a lot of weed.
Me too.
Like that is...
That's
all
our thing.
day, every day.
Yeah,
Let's clap to that shit.
It's weird.
Hey,
that's why I'm so pumped to come on the program.
Every time weed is said on All the Smoke, we need to clap.
Okay.
Make that a thing.
There
Every time weed is brought up, we gonna clap.
Yeah.
A celebratory, but no, like I do. Like I think that's a massive piece of it for me. Like when I was a junior in college, shots of Coors. Hey, let's get the boys another Coors deal. By the way, let's get the next one a big
Made to chill.
Yeah.
When the mountain on the can turns blue, that's when you know it's cold and it's time to unwind.
And maybe smoke some weed.
And smoke some weed. Of course.
When I was a junior in college, I missed 2 kicks in the first quarter of a game. We ended up losing that game by 4 points.
And it could have sent you to the
national championship.
Yep.
So I got 27 death threats. Those are old school death threats too. That was before social media.
But were there chippers? Did you miss chippers?
Oh yeah, buddy. Oh yeah, should have went in. First quarter. They were first quarter, which never gets talked about. Had to lead at halftime. Never gets talked about. Certainly my fault though. At the end of it. Certainly my fault.
Certainly my fault.
Certainly I have. I mean, there's some other shit that could have happened, certainly, but I mean, I should have made those kicks and it would have been a different life for all of us. But like, I got like 27 old school death threats, like people writing letters, putting them in a bottle, throwing them at my house in the middle of the night in Morgantown, West Virginia. So like I went through something where I really wondered if like I should be around anymore. Like
contemplate suicide.
Disappearing, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I would ever like disappearing.
Just getting out the
Yeah, like I hopped in my Jeep and I just like I'm fucking gone. Like I'm literally out of here. I'm not going back to school. Like I'm done with this. And it's like my teammates obviously rallied around me, my friends rallied around me, they brought me back. But I think like that calloused me a little bit, that moment. Because whenever you like think about like life after thinking about disappearing, like it's a whole new mindset. And then when I get arrested my second year here in Indianapolis, cops have their story for why I got arrested. I have mine. I was walking home. They said I swam in a canal. Nonetheless, it happened.
Potato.
It happened.
Shit.
Couple Coors lattes.
Couple Coors lattes.
Yeah. Maybe some weed.
Next thing you know, you're swimming.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Snack. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
So then, when I get arrested, I get killed again. So it's like, I feel like I'm pretty calloused. Like I do feel like I'm calloused. But man, when you get a lot of people telling you that you're the worst person on earth and you're ruining things,
you start believing that shit a little bit.
It's hard. It's hard not to. And so the mute button's real. I'll mute anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I will block some motherfuckers too. Like I am not scared.
Will you talk shit to them first or just block them off the rip?
I'll just, it feels like they're really like got some real ill intent. Like, hey, what you just said there was
it bothered me. Like
you were trying to really like you were trying to kill me there.
Yes.
I'm blocking them.
Okay.
If it's like a good shit talk,
I
will certainly engage and then mute.
Okay.
And then I'll see you later.
There you go.
But it is crazy having to hear all this. I couldn't even imagine how teenagers are nowadays.
Right. It's different.
I have a daughter and like thinking of her.
How old is she? Teenage?
9 months.
Oh, baby girl. Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Wifey kicking a lot of ass right now.
Yeah.
Didn't think I was ever going to have a kid.
Okay.
I was all good. She would be a great mom. So we made it happen. And boy, I love it. But I couldn't even imagine hearing all the terrible things. Like if I was a teenager, I wouldn't have been mentally tough enough for it. So it's like, it's a crazy time.
Even as an adult, stuff bothers. Like today, like people say stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I remember we asked Kobe that, like what hurt you the most? When you heard people talk bad about you, he said all of it. Like I heard all of it. You know what I mean? And people think because we're at pro athletes that we're superhuman, we don't feel shit, we don't hear shit, we're just supposed to play. And we're human at the end of the day.
Yeah, we have eyes.
Ears, hearts, all that shit.
Emotions.
Yeah, imagine that.
Pride. Empathy, humility. But everybody wants to talk about ego. That's what they think it is.
Yeah,
and it's like a lot more people have a lot of humility than people could ever imagine. And sometimes, some of those shit talkers on the internet are good.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them are really good. I'll read it. I'm like, damn, that was pretty well put together. And
that was well put together.
I agree. I can see how you would say that. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
It's been sometimes where my reply is just good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Like,
hey, here's to you,
got
buddy.
Me.
Yeah. Cheers.
You should think about changing your name from Boner Garage to like your actual name. You might have some talent.
Right. Boner Garage.
You should think about doing that. Yeah, that's a good time.
Oh, shit.
The internet's a wild place, dude.
Man,
Wild place.